I'd like to thank you for this day. I'd like to thank you that we all made it here safe and sound, we'll be able to make decisions. Because not only affect one person, but expect all of Harrison County. We ask that you allow us to meet, get along, work for the best within our community. And as the decisions that we've made, we ask that you allow us to make those decisions with an open mind and an open heart. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Supervisor Jones. County Administrator Collins, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a couple of notes before we start. Board items 38 and 43 are duplicate on the agenda, so we'll just remove item 43. Other than that, I think also we'll have item 40, which was left off due to some computer problems. I think each one of you have a copy in reference to cancellation about travel cards. All right, first item on the agenda is recognize Mr. Patrick Sapp from Long Beach, Mississippi, to discuss concerns regarding accessibility to the beaches for the disabled. Mr. Sapp, if you would please give me your address.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Patrick Sapp. I live at 119 Marshall Drive, Long Beach, Mississippi. I'm retired down here. I love it.
Good.
Again, I want to thank you for your time and your efforts of dealing with accessibility issues for the beach. And right now, there's no access to any of the beaches. And I'm real involved with the disabled community in the veterans VA and the veterans home. And they express a lot about, mostly the families can't get their disabled kid out there. And so I start taking some pictures of the beach because it says, the law says no motorized vehicle on the beach. But as you see, this is what I see every day on the beaches. I see golf carts. We could hit a button. I see trucks. I see ATVs. And but I'm not allowed to bring a motorized vehicle on the beach to get on the beach except with my family. And a lot of other families can't do it either. So what I'm asking is that Harrison County opens the door for us. And I'm sitting here today of a testament of our people open doors. In 2002, well, actually, when I got hurt in the Marines, the VA doesn't sugarcoat what your future is. So they told me that I would probably never work again. They told me I'd probably live 3 to 12 years. I would die from a spinal cord injury. And I'd never play hockey again, never run again. But years passed. I've run marathons, triathlons. I snow skied. I started a disabled ski program at Mount Bashford in Bend, Oregon, and was on the U.S. ski team. I played hockey on the 2002 Paralympic hockey game. I won the gold medal. They're making a movie about it. I was inducted in the Olympic Hall of Fame in 2022, and I'm getting ready to go into the United States Hockey Hall of Fame in 2024. That's doors that open for me that I could prove that disabled people could do things. I also worked for the government and retired from it. So that's how important it is to be able to open these doors and let us enjoy things like this. The slideshow we could hit, and I'll show you some of the things that that's on the beach. I'm not a big fan of ADA. I believe in proving myself. If you open that door, you can prove it. A lot of disabled people that I know is willing to do that. So I petitioned the board to consider. I've also worked with Troy, and we come up with some ideas about accessibility, and I know there's expenses And I know that everybody will become disabled if you do this. But also know that able-bodied will use these ramps or accessibility issues too. I'm also working with the Veterans Retirement Home and maybe get the CBs to install a ramp, if it's okay with Harrison County, to get all that approved, to build something for the veterans, because they'd love to go have a ramp out there and be on the beach and go fishing. So I talked to both of the directors, the VA and the Veterans Home, and they're all for this.
Just a second, let me understand. You mentioned motorized vehicles.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're asking for physical facilities like a ramp so they access the beach and as well some sort of motorized.
Well, I'm asking for accessibility issues, but right now, the only way I could get out on the beach is with an ATV. I can't use electric chair because you don't want to get sand in those.
Right.
But, I usually, when me and my wife go to the beach, I sit on the sidewalk and my wife sits on the beach. And that's been like that since I moved out here. So the only means I have is to use a four-wheeler, or they make these off-road bikes, but they're $20,000. And they could get me on the beach. Or I could sit and crawl on the beach, you know, and I'm willing to do that. But other disabled people are not, you know, especially kids with families. And I'll tell you, we have a lot of disabled in this community. Would love to spend time on the beach.
Okay. If the board will consent, I think the best thing to do is authorize Trey to come back with some proposals to do that.
Right.
So you do have that already?
Yes, sir.
Trey?
Mr. Collins and I discussed it. So what we've looked at is a product called Moby Mat. Now this comes in a 5-foot wide. It's almost like a flexible sidewalk. Comes in a large roll. We're able to roll it out to the tie line. Or the idea that we've had is to go into right in front of Centennial Plaza on Highway 90 and actually get a roll to go out to the fire pit that I've got right there, so that we're able to test it out and see its function. You know, how it acts on the beach, how we need to maintain it, things like that. But then the flip side is that we can offer that fire pit as a handicap accessible point. And so it's just a matter, I've actually spoken with the company. It just so happened that when Mr. Sapp came and saw me, the salesman was on his way back from Florida going back to New Orleans. So he swung by, I got some samples from him, and I'm just waiting on final pricing now. And we discussed it and allocated some money to do a test sample
Okay.
and just see how.
What about access to the beach itself over the seawall?
So where we're looking to do it, we will have to build a wooden ramp of some sort. We'll have to come up with something to get from the seawall or the boardwalk itself down to the sand. But
What
it's-
about in the spots where we already have the concrete that goes down, that our machines drive onto? Couldn't you start it there? You
Sure.
could push your chair down that concrete
Yeah.
and then get on that.
Sure, and it's,
Right.
a lot of time, it's just a matter of where we're going with the actual mat itself. There's some areas where.
But that would get them down the seawall.
Sure, yeah,
That
yes, sir.
solves it.
Right, right, and so then it's just, finding somewhere where we wanna try it out from there.
And
Thank
Trey,
you,
that
Sid.
is I mean, he can navigate on that, just that mat with a regular wheelchair.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, yep,
Plus, able-bodied would use it for pushing wagons and their equipment and stuff.
right.
Also, me and Troy talked about grants, and I'd be willing to help him with that, get a higher grant writer, and, use my fame, I guess, to push this grant through. So I know it's expensive, and I know it's gonna be a hardship on the guys that does it works on the beach, because they gotta pick it up or try to mow around it or whatever they do on the beach, but I understand that there's expense.
I think there's a handicap accessible facility or something in Long Beach.
Like it was damaged.
It was damaged? I
Yes,
thought
sir.
it was repaired.
Yes, it's been a few years back. It had something similar to this
Yeah,
down there. It
similar
was,
to that, but
I think it's
thought-
mostly in
I
the water
thought-
now, though.
I thought it had been repaired. It hadn't been repaired. Okay.
I will remind the board that the Veterans Avenue Pier, the board required it to be handicap accessible. It's in the process of planning stages to build it.
Yes,
It
sir.
has to be the Veterans Avenue Pier, and that's gonna be handicap accessible.
That was dead, I guess, when I talked to the director. That just went by the wayside,
No,
so.
it's not either. I got on them
Oh,
a couple of
good.
weeks ago.
So maybe I could work with the CBs on base and have them do that.
If
I
you
think-
give me your email address, I'll give you the builders or the designers, so maybe you have some input to it.
Yes, sir.
I think one other consideration, Trey, possibly is that where you locate this, there's gonna have to be parking, and parking suitable to handicap accessible.
Sure.
So to make sure that that bay or whatever, wherever you're gonna do it is wide enough to protect safety as
Yes.
far as the road.
I know my policy is to ask for the moon and settle with another planet, but I would like to see it in every city along the beach, the 35, 40 miles of the beach. I know I'm asking a lot, but we have a lot of disabled people spread it out. So, but I think Gulfport would set a good example.
Good. All right, anything else?
What's your email address, Mr. Sir?
It's netminder33.
Please.
It's
Net,
netminder33 USA at att.net. I can give you my card too.
if you'll do that, I'll put you in communication with the people designing that. It'd be nice to have some input, somebody that knows
Yeah.
what they need.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too, thank you. Item 2, recognize William Barnador and Ann Spratley to discuss damages to vehicle on September 19, 2023 by a county bush hog tractor.
I don't know how to do this, so.
Just give us your name and address.
My name's
Tell me
Ann
what-
Spratley, yes, 10571 Chapel Road.
Okay,
I was gone one day, and when I come back, I noticed the front of my truck was smashed. There was a county tractor on the other side cutting the grass. We stopped him, notified him, and he called his supervisor, Mr. Tim. But I haven't heard anything from y'all, so I filed it with my insurance. They gave me some back, but not all. Because I paid like $1,300 for a headlight, and they only reimbursed me like $800 and something. So,
did we consider this claim before?
I thought we had,
I thought we
it
had
is the
to.
first time I've been here. It's the first time I heard anything.
the board may have considered it when you weren't here.
Oh,
This is one of those cases where apparently the lawnmower ran over, somebody had thrown a bat out on the side of the road.
mhm.
And
Yeah, it
the
hit the
lawnmower
front
ran
of the
over,
truck.
well, we're assuming the lawnmower ran
Pushed
over,
it.
discharged it and hit the truck. My understanding from previous, and maybe Neil investigated this, that there were, did you investigate this one? No, I thought you did. That there was, I mean, the question is whether, as I recall it, the signs were out and all that, although that kind of doesn't apply in this situation because of the nature of what happened, when really that a driver drove by it. So, I mean, it's a question of whether or not the county's negligent or not. I'm not sure how you would know that a baseball bat was there.
Yeah, we found that.
I know that, but how would you know? How would a mower,
The driver of the
Yeah.
tractor
Oh,
know it.
How would it be on?
I don't know. I didn't even know the bat was there.
I understand, and that's the point. The county's mowing the right of way, they don't have any notice that the bat is there.
Right.
There's no way for them to get out and remove every item that's wrong. It's an unfortunate accident, but if the board determines the county's negligent, if you pay the claim, then you're gonna pay, probably get a claim from State Farm also. So it's not just what she's owed, you have to deal with State Farm too. But it's up to the board to determine if the county was negligent in some manner. If they are, then the board can adjudicate her claim and authorize it to be paid.
Does any member of the board have any questions to clarify any issues they have?
I just want to point out that it was County Patrol Tom Clifford who responded, so,
Yes.
and he's not with us. It looks like he did go speak to nearby residents, said they didn't know the bat was there, but children often play in the street, must have left it in the tall grass. Due to the height of the grass, it was likely not visible to the county employee operating the tractor.
Any other board member? Dan, any questions?
No, sir, not here.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
What district? It would be your district, I think. with such damage and such a high price for her personally, I'm inclined to pay it. I don't think there was negligence necessarily. By law, do we have to prove negligence to pay
I
it?
wouldn't,
That's the problem.
Has to be negligent.
yeah, can't.
Ma'am, can you state, try to get her, can you state how you think the county employee or the county was negligent or responsible for the bat being thrown out?
Out of the lawnmower?
Yeah.
Or you could tell the bat was thrown out the lawnmower.
Yeah, I'm saying it was thrown out of the, I mean, got ejected when it got run
Yeah.
over by the blade, I assume.
Yeah, it was, we have a basketball goal, and this is what I'm assuming, because I wasn't there, is when they went over the basketball goal, when it came down, it hit that one spot where that bat was, and that's when it swung it.
Okay, I'm not confused. What went over the basketball goal?
When they bring the arm up over the basketball goal, on the lawnmowers, they got the big arms for
Okay,
the thing, when they gotta pick it up to go over the basketball goal.
They pick
And
it
then
up
they set it
sideways,
back down.
go by it, Tim.
Oh, go
I
by
don't
it,
think
goes
it went
back
over
down.
it. it
And
just
when
picked
they
it up.
put it back down is when they probably slung the baseball bat, cause it is just that one section of grass that was cut in that area after the basketball goal.
whose baseball bat was it?
I have no idea.
It was torn.
Mines don't play baseball, they play basketball.
Curious. So was, do you know if the baseball bat was visible in some manner?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, we're trying to help you, but I'm odd.
Let me ask it this way, do you think the county employee should have been able to see the baseball bat or look for it?
I'm sure they probably could've, cause it was a
Okay.
bright lime green,
Okay.
Just trying to
so
help you
I
out.
don't see how they could've not seen it laying there.
Is there part of our procedure, Tim,
That-
that you have to eyeball, like not pick up little pieces of paper trash, but you have to eyeball, or no, that's not part of our procedure?
I don't-
I'm trying to help her.
I know when I cut
Well,
grass,
I mean,
I'm
she's-
study looking where I'm
If the
cutting.
board feels like, determines, adjudicates that the county employee knew or should have known
Yeah.
that the bat was there, and she's just said that if he had looked, he'd probably see it, then the board could.
I'm very sympathetic to it too, however,
Yeah.
we don't, there's no negligence, there's no way he could have seen that bat in that grass. He's sitting up on that tractor, he cannot see it.
And with tax dollars, we are unallowed by law unless there is negligence proven.
Ma'am, it would be an illegal donation for the board to vote to pay something that they can't find negligence on, that's just an unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
People throw things out on the road they shouldn't throw out, baseball bat's one of them, unfortunately. So I don't, it's up to the board to vote.
Yeah.
Again, the chair will ask for a motion.
With the understanding that simply I'll have to vote, a motion with decline.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. I'm sorry.
So sorry. And you have a beautiful little girl there.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, number 3, recognize Jordan Williams, discuss vehicle accident involving engine 5 on January 23rd, 2024.
And just so y'all know, my safety
Yes,
officer
sir.
had a root canal this morning, so Neil will be speaking, but it might be hard to understand.
Just your name, please, and address.
Jordan Williams, 10 Rose Bookwood.
If the board may, I may be able to help on this one.
Okay.
This one's been reviewed, I've discussed it with Pat Sullivan. The test in this case is that the county's not liable, because it's a law enforcement section unless the driver acted in reckless disregard. I've also talked to Neil about it. These two folks pulled off the road in obedience to the, correct me if I'm wrong on something I say, pulled off the road in obedience to the sirens. The truck came around the corner, oversteered, went off the road and hit the vehicle. And I think that would qualify as reckless disregard. If somebody pulls off in obedience to the lights and siren and still gets hit, that's a problem.
It's
So,
incumbent upon the driver as well to maintain control of that
Absolutely.
vehicle.
and so
Yeah.
I think Neil agreed with me there, but both Neil and Pat.
There
This is a
is,
claim that should be
I think, a negligent factor in this.
Yes, sir. The way the engine was traveling, and then I haven't drank anything. I had a root canal this morning, so if I'm talking funny, my whole mouth's dead on the
So
side.
you don't sound that
That's
bad. You
all.
sounded just like you always do.
The way way the engine was traveling on Canal Road, in that curve there, the adjusted speed for the sign is 10 miles an hour. The fireman in his statement stated he was doing 45 to 50. So when he started to make that turn, that water in that truck probably shifted and it pulled him
The
over.
weight of the truck.
And I wasn't notified about this till the next day by Chief Sullivan by email. And I went there, that was raining that night when this happened around 7. And the engine like slid because the next day when I went there was yaw marks from the tandem axles on the rear of the engine where it went over and slid. Otherwise, it would probably turned over on the truck. So I think he was going too fast, and I don't think he relied on the transmission brake enough to slow it down, because that's what slows it down, they let off the gas because of the weight of the engine. And he made the curve too wide, and I got a statement from Jordan here, and he said that, he had pulled off the road and yielded to the
Did
fire
what he was
engine.
supposed to do.
And the fire engine, you can see in the highway patrol report where he came around and it shows that him off the road, basically, and the fire truck hit him. So he did everything he was supposed to do right.
Okay. Hearing that,
I think the question is we probably need to let Walt Warren determine exactly what the damages are to be paid. I'm not
but we
sure.
can go ahead and authorize that.
Go ahead and authorize
and
it,
pay
so
it.
Walt tells us what to
We
do.
had, walked through the appraisal and the shit turned in.
There is, but I was trying to read through it, I'm not clear with him, subject to him telling us what he's approved.
Okay.
He's already dealt with it once, I'm just not clear on what he's.
Yes, Mr. Williams had the truck towed, well, Jordan did, I think Mr. Williams was out of town, because it took me a while to get in touch with him. And they had the truck towed to Turin Foley. And when I talked to Mr. Foley, got in touch with Mr. Williams, I told him we had to get some estimates, 2 estimates. Well, it was already Turin Foley, and that's where he wanted it fixed, because he bought it there. And, I told him we weren't gonna tow it anywhere to have it fixed like that, so that's when I called him and discussed with him, and Angela, Walt Warren called him, he had an appraiser go up there and do an appraisal on it.
Has it already been repaired?
No, it's still at Turin.
What I would recommend the board do, you want your truck repaired, is that what we're talking
Yes.
about? What I recommend the board do is let Walt go out there, confirm, let them repair it, and the board can authorize payment directly to Turin Foley, that way you'll avoid sales tax. If you pay it correctly, if he pays it, they'll have to pay sales tax on it, but the county pays it correctly, so your truck's gonna get repaired, fixed, just
Yeah.
let Walt go figure out how to do it and save a little bit of sales tax in the meantime. Gulfport won't like it, though, so.
Okay,
So
I'll make the motion.
Recommend, yeah.
I'll make the motion to get Walt to do that immediately. He's been without his truck for 2 months. This is a brand new, beautiful truck, and he needs to get it, needs to get it back. It's only a year old, so make the motion to get Walt to move forward with getting the,
And authorize,
And then
Authorize
authorize
the
payment of
we'll,
it.
correct.
we'll get the amount for the next meeting, so we'll get an order that authorizes the tort account to pay whatever it needs to be paid. Also, the board can allow loss of use.
Correct,
Did you
that's-
have anything for loss of use? Did you have any estimates or anything, or did you rent a car in the meantime?
No, I only just had to get it out of the total.
I'll get Walt to figure out the loss of use.
Okay.
Second.
Motion second, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. Motion carries.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank y'all for your patience. Sorry that happened.
Recognize Stephen Fountain, Dawn Abadi, and Mike Honeycutt with Alliant Insurance Services to discuss options available to Harrison County for property and liability insurance.
Thank you. Good morning, thanks for seeing us. My name is Stephen Fountain. Address is 305 Vinca Cove, Madison, Mississippi. I'm the regional director for Alliant for Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Alabama. Really just, again, thank y'all so much for your time. I know y'all are very busy. We put together a very brief, I know y'all's time is valuable, just overview of Alliant. Y'all aren't familiar with our firm. We're based out of California. The first page kind of gives a brief overview. We're the largest public entity broker in the country. We're about $4 billion in revenue. Dawn, Bernie, and I specialize in coastal property, public entity. We're the largest writer of public entity in the country, as I mentioned. We again, the main purpose of this is to give a very brief overview of who we are. Would really like to talk this morning about, you know, options that we've seen in the property market, and also for public entity, but, on page 5, you put to the back, that's just a brief sample, client list for our public entity clients. We do all the Board of Supervisors pool for Mississippi. Dawn and I worked on the state of Mississippi and has the state of Mississippi a client for IHL, which is all the public universities in the state, has been a client of ours. We do about 65 counties and about 60 school boards in the state. So again, don't want to waste too much time going over that. That's just some credentials we have. But what we really want to talk about this morning is just options in the property market. I'm sure y'all have had very difficult renewals for the past 3, maybe 4 years. The insurance market, especially for the coast, has been incredibly hard. Well, we've got a hurricane out there right now that's approaching. You know, we've tried to be very creative in what we've done for provide options for our clients. And so I know that we're starting to see some more aggressiveness in the property market with different carriers. We just actually were able to save a resident, a large insurance processor here on the coast, some money, improve their deductible structure. And really just want to see what y'all have been doing in the past and see what options that, if any, we could bring to the table for y'all, and really want to do analysis of your current program and come back with recommendations on anything we would see that we do different from a structure standpoint. You know, I know that MASSET is a program I mentioned before, so the Board of Supervisors program. There are about 65 members in that currently. I didn't know the last time y'all had looked at that as an option. I think I'm talking to some people that run that for us. Mike Honeycutt, who's not here today, he's a consultant and runs that program for us. And just, you know, again, wanted some just general feedback on what y'all seen in that. If anything we can do to help you, we'd love to do that for you.
Okay. Have you had a chance to talk to our county administrator?
Mr. Barrett? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Proper call.
Yes, sir.
So maybe if you have a proposal or actual money you could save, and perhaps you could get together on an estimate of,
I would suggest that you talk to him and
Yeah.
then maybe come back with us, and then we'll look at some proposals.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, well. All right, at this time, we'll recognize Tim Smith, our county road manager.
Mark, Tim's out.
Tim's out.
We got a little medical emergency with Tim,
Oh, okay.
and we'll get him next
Is he
week.
all right?
With him.
All right, moving right along. Recognize Steve Amera with Municipal Advisors of Mississippi to discuss the selection of an underwriter and bond counsel to provide services related to the refunding of the Harrison County's 2010 B Coliseum and Convention Center refunding bond dated January 28, 2010, and take action regarding same.
Good morning.
Mr. Amera, good morning.
Also have Jason Thomas with me. He's a lot smarter than I am, so if we get technical, he's gonna step in. We're well aware of that.
Hey, let him talk.
Well, thank you again, first of all, for trusting us to look at this. So we're here before you today to discuss the Series 2010B variable rate refunding bonds, which was the original purpose was for the Coliseum Convention Center. And at that time, there were 2 series issued, an A series and a B series. The A series currently has a balance of approximately $20 million, so we're not discussing that one. That's on a fixed rate. And so what we're here to discuss is the 2010 B series, which is a variable rate structure utilizing a swap agreement. So the total refunding we're discussing today would be approximately $44.5 million. It would result in a fixed rate and swap would be terminated. There would be 2 series with this refunding, a taxable portion and a tax exempt portion. The tax exempt portion would represent the balance that's owed on the bonds, and the taxable portion would represent the swap termination fee and any costs of issuance. In addition, the current structure has pretty significant annual fees associated with it. Those would go away. This refunding with the fixed rate, the only annual fee moving forward would be a trustee fee, which we anticipate to be around $5,000 and could get it down from there. So that would be the only annual fee going in. The only fees, all the fees paid would be paid at closing, and it's a one-time, they would all be one-time transaction fees. So our advice is to move forward with this refunding, first of all.
Steve, do you have any idea what the cost to get out of the, swap and,
This, yeah.
Swap termination.
and how long?
The latest
would it
statement we
be?
have from Deutsche Bank on that, who's a counterparty, is 7.4 million. We think we can negotiate that down somewhat. The underwriter that we're recommending has been in contact with them over the previous months, along with the swap advisor. There would be an independent swap advisor with this transaction that would help us negotiate that. That's somebody that is, like I said, independent, and that's their expertise in dealing with the interest rate swap market.
Have any idea if we did this, what our long-term savings would be?
Yes, so on that sheet that we handed out,
there at the bottom.
what we did, we
I
got,
had a chance to look at some.
6.5 million.
and so we got proposals from 4 underwriters, and Raymond James had, their proposal provided the highest net savings of, what's it,
6.528.
They actually provided us with 3 options, and the option 3 is the one that provides the biggest net savings. So that structure involves the taxable portion representing that swap termination fee, and the cost of issuance would be on a 5-year payback. Once that and the total debt service would be about like $3.6 million a year. And for the first 5 years, that 3.6 would be split between both issues.
Right.
And then after that 5-year payoff is gone, then the entire amount will go
The
to retire
savings
the
kind
rest
of
of it.
kick in the last year.
It would also remove the interest rate risk that you face with a swap. Right now, rates are at an elevated enough level on the swap to where that swap termination fee is as low as it is. If rates were to change significantly, that termination penalty could go up.
Could go up.
Not to mention, we're currently at a variable, which anyone knows you've got to go fix to protect your
Exactly.
future, especially with interest rates and the unknown in Washington. So I would highly recommend we get off any
Absolutely.
variable
And that-
ever.
Yeah, and that proposal has a 2043 payout, where it's currently at
And when?
2043. Currently, the payout's 2045,
2043
so
would
it's
be
shaving
done.
a couple of
And you
years.
start reducing principal when we put this into place, whereas to date, you have not reduced any principal.
We're not reducing principal, just doing interest only? Another recipe for
Right.
non-payment. Okay.
Anything else?
Then, the board also needs to decide on bond counsel, because the plan would be, once the board decides who they want to use for bond counsel, we would bring them back in next meeting with a resolution of intent and a resolution hiring professionals and get
Do y'all
going.
still, recommend?
Anybody?
We recommend that you keep Butler Snow, Thad Varner, and in fact, I think he's already done some work.
Just
with
the
They're already
complexity of this particular line?
Right. He's very familiar
I'll
with
make the motion
I know
for,
Thad.
I'll make the motion to, accept the recommendation and to retain Butler's
Second.
Any further discussion? Here none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Look forward to
you.
working
y'all.
with you.
Good job.
All right, next item, consent agenda, the most items would be, board would generally be in agreement. There's no discussion in reference to any of the, consent agenda. The chair will move for approval of the
Motion.
consent agenda. Any discussion? Here none, all in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. We'll move to item 15, order acknowledging the receipt of and approving the petitions for decreases to the 2023 real property roll as recommended by the tax assessor. Do I hear a motion?
motion.
Second.
Discussion? Here none, all in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for increases to the 2023 personal property roll as recommended by the tax assessor.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those Those opposed by no, motion carries. On the county engineer approving execution and payment of pay application number 9 to Harrison County Bridge LLC for work done on Mange Avenue and I-10 project in accordance with the development agreement and the attached form of GO requisition in the amount of $961,283.98 payable from 309-100-581.
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order approving change order number 1 dated June 21st, 2024 with Benacor Incorporated for multi-department complex nose building in Harrison County for an increase of $4,977.05 for foundation work, increase in concrete and rebar quantities, following the contractor's provision of final building reactions for the foundation and plumbing work for addition floor drains, excuse me, and authorizing the board president to execute the same.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order approving the final plat for River Hill subdivision, Phase 1, Part 1, 100 lots located in Section 17 and 18, Township 6 South, Range 11 West, Supervised Voting District 2, First Judicial District, as recommended by the county engineer, and authorizing the board president to execute the same. Do you hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order approving the waiver of any and all permit fees for building of the new metal building at the Harris County Building Multi-Department Complex.
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Sorry, Dan, I'm moving a little too fast on that one.
No, sir, you're fine.
Order approving out-of-state travel as listed.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Opposed by no, motion carries. Order concurring with the road manager on employment as listed on file with the payroll clerk and personnel department.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order concurring with the county administrator on employment as listed on file with payroll clerk and personnel department. Is that here, second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. On the purchasing department, discussion on the following contract to approve extension on a month-to-month basis with a 30-day notice of termination and requesting for authorization of advertisement for requests for proposals for said projects listed below as recommended by the county administrator.
Motion.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving purchase from Sunbelt Fire Incorporated for a quantity of 10 3-inch by 50-foot fire hose at a cost of $379.50 each, totaling $3,795, and authorize a budget amendment for the same amount to 103-250921 payable from state rebate fund.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. On the sheriff, recognize the sheriff or his representative as he reports on the number of persons currently housed in Harrison County Jail.
Total count today is 809. 223 of those are state inmates, 36 are ready to go, 18 federal inmates, 81 misdemeanors, 38 juveniles, and 10 juveniles at juvenile detention. All of those are Harrison County.
Thank you, Sheriff. Continue with agenda. Order approving the sheriff's salary of $104,000 as authorized by Senate Bill number 2311 passed in the Mississippi Legislative regular session of 2024 and approving a $35,000 supplement to the sheriff as authorized by section 25.325 of the Mississippi Code 1972, effective July 1st, 2024.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Here none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order authorizing the replenishment of petty cash account in the name of Robert Grace, Narcotics Division, in the amount of $5,380 payable from 029-215-613 to bring the account balance to approved amount of $6,000.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order authorizing the Chancellor Clerk to issue a check in the amount of $8,550 to Robert Grace, Narcotics Division, for the Gulfport Office of Homeland Security Investigation payable from 80302816113.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order authorizing the sole source purchase of taser cartridges from Axion Enterprises Incorporated at a cost of $12,990 payable from 001-200-613.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving the low quote from GPA Services to convert an H369A fuel cell for the Sheriff's Office helicopter, including an annual inspection and transportation in the amount of $54,607.33 payable from 001-200-918 and authorizing a line transfer from 001-11-432 for said funds.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving the transfer of a 2013 Polaris ATV 900, asset 22224 from Harrison County Sheriff's Office to the Harrison County Sand Beach.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order the transfer of a 2010 Polaris XP 800 Ranger, asset 2392, from the Harrison County Sheriff's Office to the Harrison County Facilities and Maintenance. Got here, motion. Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in discussion, Sheriff, you giving away all your assets?
No, just trying to help folks out, that's all.
There you go. Good deal. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order spreading among the minutes personnel changes of the Sheriff's Office as listed on file payroll clerk and personnel department. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving purchase of computers and accessories from ITS EPL 3760 at a cost of $15,332.95 from CDW-G payable from 001-200-921 and authorizing a transfer from 001-211-432.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving purchase of a 3/4 ton pickup truck, crew cab, four-wheel drive from Lander CDJR, state contract number 8200071291, item number 07048523665-4 in the amount of $46,641. Payable from Operation Stone Garden Grant number S23L E024 account 030221915 and authorizing county administrator to make the line item transfer from 030-221-917 of the $48,000.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order authorizing disposal of assets per attached list and authorizing the inventory clerk to remove the same from the inventory.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving payment of claims as listed.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Anybody for no? Motion carries. Order approving payment of claims listed to be paid in the court account as listed.
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. All right, we got to item 40, we'll take that. The addendum. Order acknowledging the cancellation of travel and procurement cards and approving the submission of a new travel and procurement cards.
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, so
Yes, sir.
when will we get the new cards? We have like a week to leave.
So the new card will be issued through Community Bank. Walt can add the cards, we can get the card in just a couple of days. We need some, you gotta give Walt some information. We gotta do travel card and P card issued through Community Bank. Purchase card.
Okay.
So y'all have, you think they'll have it by the time?
Yes, we can get those in about 5 days.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Hear none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. 41, order authorizing payment of $3,501.75 for patient center outcome research fee as required by the Internal Revenue Service for applicable self-insurance health plan payable from 001/121/468 and annual filing of Form 720. Hear a motion? Do I hear a second? Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving claim docket as per Mississippi Code 1972.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Hear none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. 43 is a duplicate, we'll move to item 44. On the board agenda, approved travel is listed.
Oh, second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. And I'll hesitate a little bit if you want to throw in that aye.
Well, since it was delayed, I told him just to say no if he was against it.
Yeah,
Just
that
assume,
might be more efficient. Good. Number 45, correcting scrivener's error in orders adopted on June 10, 2024, being agendas items 5 and 6, file number 24-3582 and 24-3581, correcting and changing the effective dates of the Freeport licenses granted to MCMD Incorporated, DBA Clum Forest Products, and Keith Huber Corporation from January 1st, 2025 to January 1st, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Consider the request of Keith Huber Corporation seeking a refund of $64,856.57 for overpayment of 2020 property taxes. Chair opens for discussion.
If I may, I'd recommend the board table this. There's a 3-year statute of limitations. These taxes were paid in January of 21, it's now June of 23.
As a legal.
July of 24.
Give him the 60.
As a
I'm not
legal
gonna-
issue.
We have to figure out whether or not the statute is run or not.
Okay. Motion to table.
Well, okay, I feel pretty strongly that it was our mistake. We overcharged him. He paid because he was hoping for an abatement to help his business in another way. I mean, I almost feel comfortable giving him a 64,000 tax abatement or credit,
I mean,
because
the guy paid
he
60.
overpaid because of our mistake.
I don't think.
Was it our mistake or was it the information they
No, it
submitted?
wasn't the county's mistake.
There was information he submitted.
Well,
They-
but isn't it our due
It wasn't our
diligence to
mistake.
see?
He submitted incorrect information.
And I'm not saying not pay it, don't misunderstand.
Yeah.
The question is, and I don't, from the backup, I couldn't tell.
So what we need to do is
The
find
question
out
is-
what the proper way is to get him his money back.
Or whether we legally
You
can.
legally can't, you can't make a.
You can't do that arbitrarily.
The statute ran, and that's their fault for not catching it earlier, but I'm not saying that occurred. I'm I'm saying that they say the taxes were paid in January of 21. It's now July of 24. There's a 3-year statute of limitations. I actually saw this and researched it.
Okay.
There's case law on it, but the question I have in my mind is there's an email in early January of 21. So they may have submitted it within the statute of limitations, and so that may be okay. I don't know yet. I mean, from the backups, I couldn't tell. Certainly, if they are within the 3-year statute, they're entitled to the refund. If they're not within the 3-year statute, then we're going to have to look at it. So
I think
there's
we need to
another
table
way.
it and then let
Okay.
council look at it. 'Cause
There's a procedure they can file in Chancery Court. I'm talking about what this board can do. There's another procedure they can file in Chancery Court. They may be able to do it there, but if the statute's run and you pay it, then it could be an improper donation and you could be liable for it.
So question, if they made us aware of it within those 3 years and we took no action, then that would be in their favor, that they did
Yes,
request it within those 3 years?
That's right. If they made their request to the tax assessor within 3 years, it may be okay. And that's why I said there's an email
Okay,
in January of 21, I think it's January 22nd. So we just need to make sure it's legal before you do it, is my only concern.
I think if I read in that email correctly, that they stated that our attorney and their attorney felt that it was okay to refund it, so I saw
Haven't talked
that. Did
to
I
us,
miss that?
I don't
yeah,
remember
that's what they
talking to
said,
them.
but,
Because
But anyway,
okay.
let's table
Let's
it
just
so
table
that
it till
we can
next
have
week
legal
and
evaluate it, because I don't want to subject myself or y'all to any liability.
That's fine, but I believe you'll find that within those 3 years of
If-
statute, they did request that it was
Then-
overpayment.
Then that would be
That would
proper
be-
without question. Just
Right.
from the backups, I couldn't tell.
Okay, so we'll make a motion to table.
I have a motion to table. Do I hear a second? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Hear none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order approving purchase of office furniture from Business Furniture Services for Circuit Court Judges Chambers in Biloxi at a cost of $4,014.60 payable from 001-161-919 and authorizing a line transfer from 001-161-581. Do I hear a second? Discussion. The only discussion I had, I only saw the one quote that we're approving. Backup did not show the second quote. Did I miss it?
Dr. Ladner, there was, one quote was for the judge's chair, and then there was a second quote that was for 6 additional chairs. I sent both of them to, I believe it was, last week I maybe sent the email of the quotes to her. If not, I can give them if necessary.
I looked at the backup and it seems like it's
Same
same company.
Correct, yeah.
So I didn't see a second quote from a different company.
No, there was not a separate quote from, it was just Business Furniture Services. We did
Well, we
not
need
get-
2 quotes.
Okay.
We need 2 quotes. But it's not, so I would suggest and I think the next item is the same, if I'm not.
Is that, okay.
Well, we'll get to that, but I would suggest that we table this until we get the second quote.
Okay.
Do I hear a
Motion
motion?
to table.
For
Do I hear a second?
It's motion to take 47 and 48.
I think so, 48, approved line, 23.
This is for
purchase
human
order.
resources.
Same thing, I think.
No, it's for human resources.
But it's only showing one quote.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I do remember the judge.
If it's under 5,000,
I thought it had to be over 5,000.
That was
I think it's 2 quotes if it's over
over
5,000.
5,000.
Purchasing law is over 5,000.
Correct.
Okay,
But if you want 2 quotes, you can get.
no, I'm not sure that the board at one time didn't require the quotes, even though it's under 5, but I don't have a problem with it if it's not required by law.
I think that's correct. If you'll move on, I'll get you. I'll make
Okay.
sure.
So we're at table number 47. I think we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carried. Order approving the line transfer of $2,200 from account 001-14486 to 001-14919 to purchase of office furniture for the human resources on the second floor of the Gulfport Courthouse. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do discussion, and that's one you don't think, under 5,000. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion
One thing.
carries.
We have 47, similar, huh?
It would fall under
On,
47
on,
as well.
on the 5,000.
If
Well-
Tim's gonna look it up.
Just hold it, y'all go on and I'll have.
We
you-
can
I'll make
bring it
sure.
back off the
I'm pretty
table.
sure
Yeah, you
It
won't
doesn't
do,
require two
We
quotes.
just,
Yeah.
we just
One
approved
five.
48.
yeah, well, if it's under 5,000, both of them are under 5,000.
I'll bring it back up after the meeting.
Chair would entertain a motion to reconsider 47 if we're gonna go by that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve 47.
Reconsider.
Reconsider.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. The chair now will entertain a motion to approve order, approving the purchase for office furniture for the circuit court judge's chamber as listed on 47.
Motion.
Discussion, all in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. I think we voted on 48, didn't we? All right, 49, order adjudicating tax sale of August 28, 2023 on tax parcel number 0715-33-007 period 000 for 2022 taxes erroneous and thus void ab initio and for related purposes.
Motion. Second.
Discussion, Tim?
Sorry, I was reading the ed.
Oh, okay.
49.
Well, on 49 ab initio,
I was reading the AG's.
okay. I hope we don't have to go back.
Really?
This was an error in assessment by the tax assessor's office, therefore it qualifies to be set aside.
Okay, hearing the reason, the chair now call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order authorizing and approving the repair and resurfacing of Laney Street within the cities of Biloxi and D'Iberville as per the terms of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement between the cities of Biloxi and D'Iberville and Harrison County.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order authorizing reimbursement to the road fund 150-000-360 for the, as listed.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order adjudicating the employment of Tim C. Holloman, Boyce Holloman, and Associates to represent Harrison County and the Harrison County Board of Supervisors and the matter listed below.
Motion.
Second discussion?
This is on the appeal, correct?
Is this on the Patrick?
Yes,
Yes, Patrick. That, just while we're on that subject, does the board want to revisit the order that was entered? Basically, all the order says is, it's in controversy, is whether or not the Acadian can provide services to county properties. To my understanding, the only real county properties that would be involved in that would be the Coliseum, which has asked Acadian to provide standby services during their events, which may have some problem, and possibly the jail.
And the hospital,
Well, the hospital.
partly on.
The ordinance, yes, the ordinance, that's what's causing the controversy, really, the ordinance of Gulfport and Biloxi permits Acadian to deliver it to the hospital and return back to the point of origin from the hospital.
I thought it allowed them to transport them in, but did not allow them.
That's
Take the
incorrect. It
discharge.
allows them to pick up, bring them and take them back.
So that's not an issue then.
Not even an issue. What is an issue that Acadian has tried to push is causing the problem is because it's a county property, Acadian's trying to take the position in a community hospital. Acadian's trying to take the position that they're entitled to deliver within the cities from the hospital. And that's not a fight for this board to be involved in. If they think that, then it's fine. The appeal, I was told to a third party that if we took out the part about county properties, that Patrick would be satisfied. I'm not recommending that, I just want the board to know that request, that message has come back. I don't think it really matters to the board, we ought to probably try to get a determination as to what applies and doesn't apply. Pafford's appeal is wrong for this issue. If their position is that the board's order violates the city ordinance, which it does not, it cannot, the violation of the ordinance would occur if Acadian tried to provide services in violation of the ordinance, so the board wouldn't have anything to do with that.
My question is this: if we leave the language like it is, and we win the appeal, what do we gain?
Not much. You get Acadian to provide service to the jail, which is different. I did get copies of the bills where Pafford sent a bill to the county for $1,900 for picking somebody up at the jail. The county's not going, I told them not to pay that bill because the prisoner's actually the one liable for that, not the county. And it's Medicare rates, not full rates. So that and providing the services to the.
So my question is if we gain nothing out of it, why enter the fight?
That's why I'm bringing it up.
This is the thing, Nathan, and I kind of agree with what you're saying. My real concern and my issue is that people who are transported from the county to Memorial Hospital have a right to use Acadian to transport them back.
That's correct.
Especially if they have, these contracts with them. I don't think the fight is worth it either. To
And
be
that's
honest
how
with
this
you, with county
conversation
property,
started.
whether it be with the jail or with the Coliseum.
It wasn't all this other stuff. The conversation was simply Memorial Hospital. If we have that, why continue?
Why?
Let these two EMS providers fight over this, and we stay out of it.
That's why I bring it up.
That's my take.
And I agree, as long as we got we agree with the Memorial Hospital issue. I don't know if it's worth the fight over
I
the,
don't disagree.
the
with
only
you.
two properties we have. What's your, position, Sheriff, as it relates to the jail?
I don't think Memorial should be dictating it. I agree with y'all. I think they need to figure it out.
Who, does the jail better, the jail want service from Pafford or from Acadian?
My problem was the cost
Yes.
of it. Personally, I don't care, as long as we're getting, it's fair, but $1,900 to bring an inmate from Harrison County Jail to Singing River, I mean, that's a little ridiculous.
There's two things wrong with that. First off, they have to bill Medicare by law. They can only bill the county by Medicare rates. Also by law, the prisoner is liable for it, not the county. But again, you want to be able to transport the prisoners when they need it for emergency. So you gotta balance that with who's doing it and why. I mean, it's just, I don't disagree with the board, and the reason I'm bringing this up is it just may not be a fight that we need to fight right now. And so if there's specific issues that come up, then we can probably deal with Gulfport. We went and met with Gulfport, right, and we had a good meeting with them. Now, I'm not sure what's going on, but then after the meeting, apparently, I assume Pafford's been in their ear, so then we have to go back through it again. I just don't think, it's ultimately a question if Acadian provides services in Gulfport, they're not gonna be in violation of the ordinance if they're delivering people from the county or the cities that are within the county's jurisdiction to the hospital and then returning those people back at their request. If they request Pafford could do it also. But back into the county. That is within both the city of Biloxi's ordinance and the permissible within those two ordinances.
Well, is Pafford having an issue with us, as far as the, county residents being transported
exactly
back
what the issue
from the hospital?
No, they did. Initially, they said they did, but then they figured out that the ordinance allowed that, so that ended that part of it. What's really going on, in my opinion, is Pafford is worried that the county is gonna have some interpretation that because it's a public hospital, a community hospital, that Acadian has a right to serve that hospital wherever those patients are going. And I don't think the board order would make a difference on that.
Did our board order clarify that, Tim? Did it say we're talking only about transportation of county residents to and from Memorial Hospital?
It also mentions county properties without mentioning the hospital. What caused the stir is quite frankly, the original order that Acadian was proposing had language in there about hospital, and that caused about hospital being a community hospital. That was wrong, and the board didn't vote on that, and that was an error that shouldn't have happened. And so that got fixed immediately, and Pafford was aware of it. Pafford didn't appeal from the board order that the board entered. They entered appeal from an order that was corrected. So I don't know why they did that. Something that's what they're worried about. I just don't. I agree with Mr. Barrett that it's not. If the board rescinds its order, the appeal will probably be dismissed. We'll go back to square one as to whatever controversy is between Acadian and Pafford, and they have to figure that out.
Let me ask you a question in reference to the sheriff's concern about cost. If Pafford were to serve the jail and it was a cost to the county, could we could negotiate that cost with them?
Yes. I think you could also have an issue as to whether or not you could negotiate with somebody else to provide service to the county jail. In other words, in my opinion, those people have the authority to say that Acadian can service the county jail as part of its agreement with the county for whatever cost.
Didn't you just say though that they're required to charge the Medicare rate?
Yes.
Medicaid rate?
Yes, they're required to charge Medicare rates. I
So
don't know
that
what that
should be
is.
the set rate, whatever it is, so would negotiating with them matter? I
Yeah,
mean, if
no,
that's what
well,
they're allowed to charge.
There's all kind of issues with Medicare rates and whether or not it applies to ambulance. I can't even, I know that because of dealing with personal injury lawsuits, we get issues all the time with ambulance services about Medicare, whether it applies at all to the ambulance care for one reason or another. But
You're saying Medicare, I think you mean Medicaid.
Medicaid or Medicare, it can be one or both.
It can be either, okay.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and Sheriff Peterson can probably answer this, but when AMR did it, I don't think they ever charged us.
Yeah, I don't think they did either.
From the jail. Now, Acadian told us that they could do it, yeah, it'd be a flat rate of about $200 if they did it.
Well, like I said,
Well, we can deal with that without outside this order. I mean, if we could talk with Pafford, and if they insist on servicing the jail, then they need to pay no more, can't cost the county any more money. If they want to have somebody stationed at the Coliseum, at the request of the Coliseum, and Pafford says they're not gonna do it, then we talk to Acadian about doing it. Then we may get in a fight with them, but then we're having a fight that we need to fight.
like I said, my only concern was the protection of the citizens, you know, and whether they service the Coliseum, that's not an issue. I'm not, that's not an issue.
The whole issue started with Pafford saying that they had the absolute right under the Gulfport ordinance to take people home.
Yeah, that's
from
what
the
I had an
hospital. That's
issue
what
with.
started the whole issue to the county. And so I just think if this board wants to just rescind the order of June 10th,
I'll make that motion.
then we can deal with the other issues as we have to deal with them.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second on discussion. We'll make sure that this doesn't affect the hospital.
Does not affect the hospital.
City
because
ordinances
City
protect-
ordinances address that issue.
Okay.
It is not in violation of the city ordinance for Acadian to deliver to the hospital and then take those people back
Okay,
home.
so that's.
That's all, that's done.
I believe, Tim, if I'm wrong or not, I believe it was the people that buy accounts through Acadian, some type of family account.
That was the
Ordinance doesn't
issue.
say that.
Right, well, that's what the argument was over. If you bought a family account through Acadian and you were at the hospital and wanted to go home, you've already paid for Acadian.
That really was the concern.
The ordinance actually exempts from the ordinance transportation from the county service area to the hospital and return, basically, it does say on the request of the patient. In other words, the patient's gotta say, I want Acadian to take me home. And so, that's the way the ordinance reads, it's exempt from the ordinance, Alexis is the
As
same.
long as that's
understanding.
clear, and I don't have a problem with the motion on.
And then we can deal with these issues as we go forward.
Yeah. I'm not ready to get in a fight over the Coliseum. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Thank you. All right, well, oh yeah, 53. Order approving the use of Harris County Advocacy Center located at 47 Maples Drive, Gulfport, Mississippi for first aid and CPR training on August 2nd, 2024 at 9 o'clock a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. The fee of $13.88 per person for certification for Friends of Court staff will be payable from 001-182-486.
Motion.
Do I hear a second? Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving the City of DeIverville's temporary use of county equipment, which is a portable stage to assist DeIverville in Barbecue Festival on March 22nd, 2025, pursuant to the terms of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement between the City of DeIverville and Harrison County. Hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order approving sponsorship of fireworks display in Biloxi on July 4th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
It's on the letter from the Boom Boom Committee, I believe.
What are you asking for?
It's $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah. I think it's 5,000.
It's on the backup.
It is in the letter.
It's on the letter.
Yeah.
Order approving, there's a motion on the floor. Do I hear, what's the vote? Aye?
I got a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
55. We just approved $5,000. Who's gonna pay?
What's the account it's coming out of?
If we all agree, it should be divided equally between us, I guess.
What's the account it's coming
It'd come out of escrow.
out of? Okay.
It is escrow, okay, so.
Got no problem with it, yeah.
I mean, if not, I don't mind paying.
No, I'm willing to help too, but we have some issues with that.
As long as it's open to the public, I don't have any problem contributing to it.
Spread it, all five.
Yeah, boys on.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. 56, order approving a memorandum of understanding with the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College regarding the use of the College of West Harrison County Center as a commodity point of distribution and execution thereof.
Motion.
Discuss, second? Do I hear a second?
Yeah, Nathan did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order approving the waiver of rental fees required for the Long Beach Fire and Public Police Department to host their annual Resilience of Coastal Kids Foundation Christmas Party on December 13th, 2025 at the West Harrison Civic Center.
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, the motion carries. Order reappointing Janet McMurphy as a member at large for the Tourism Commission for the term of ending 7/1/2029.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries.
Excuse me, sir, before we move forward, I also have someone I need to reappoint for the same commission, and that would be my motion to reappoint Jody Braxton to represent District 2 on the Tourism Commission.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. That's for both,
Aye.
voting for both Janet McMurphy and
Jody Braxton.
Jody Braxton. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order rescinding board's decision at the June 10th, 2024 Board of Supervisors meeting designating Emily Moran as Harrison County's representative in the 2024 Mississippi DC Fishing Rodeo pageant. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
discussion, didn't she withdraw, why?
She went with Biloxi,
Yeah.
Okay.
City of
Okay.
Biloxi.
Yeah,
That was
I
my
just
question.
wanted to make sure that
She was
she
aware.
withdrew, she herself withdrew.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order adjudicating, Ava Graham as Harrison County's representative in the Mississippi, in the 2024 Mississippi Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo Pageant.
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Order adjudicating and authorizing expenditures as listed as necessary to advertise and bring in a favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of Harrison County, Mississippi, including all forms of advertising, including but not limited to broadcast advertising, logo recognition on publicity collateral, other media, and all broadcast, printed material, and signage along with the link displayed to Harrison County online. Recipients are required to show proof of advertisement payable from 002-100-522.
Doc, I didn't hear that, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure, adjudicating. If you don't mind listening, I don't mind saying it. Okay.
Motion.
That's pretty good.
Second.
Any discussion, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those by no, motion carries. Okay, I think it's, anything else?
I don't have anything, if the board got any questions.
Ms. Angela?
I think we should have a third meeting in July.
Okay, we're going to simply recess day to day for, budget hearings.
But you want to set a third meeting date so we can tell everybody to enter agenda items?
To set a date? Right now?
Third meeting date, you mean for our budget hearings?
No,
No,
for
third
the,
meeting.
for the regular
Third
agenda, so we can notify both.
All right, do you have a date?
22nd of July?
22nd of July. Does that meet board approval?
That's fine.
I'll hear no objections, we'll set it 22nd July, 9:30 Gulfport. Anything else? Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
I don't have anything.
I have something, but I gotta put this in my phone before a third meeting, July 22nd, 9:30 at Gulfport. Okay. I would like to make a motion to take off the table land use, the appeal, taking off the table the appeal for land use application for 16314 Landon Road, parcel ID 07098-01-002.000. So I make that motion to take it off.
Second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Hear none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, motion carries. Now, then you got enough.
Yes, sir. So now I'd like to make a motion to deny the appeal, and this would allow the applicants to construct the self-storage facilities along the northern portion of the property only, behind their primary dwelling. The dwelling will buffer the units from Landon Road. The man who owns the home doing the mini storage has agreed for the required buffers to maintain those buffers. This would be a conditional use only. Any expansion in the future of a conditional use would require the planning commission's approval in order to expand. That's my motion.
Do I hear a second? Any discussion? Hear none, all in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries.
And that's all.
That's it?
Thank you.
Mr. Bear?
I have nothing.
Mr.
I'm
Collins?
good, sir.
Sheriff?
No, sir.
Oh, y'all, good deal today. All right, I have no, the chair will entertain a motion to recess.
Motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Those opposed by no, motion carries. Thank y'all.
I'll just call you later about that. That's something for next week, because I need to talk to you too, don't forget me.
But I just.